Not that I know of. Yeah, exactly. Ed?
Josh, I want to go back to Chris's, the substance of her question, though, about the poll number, which, because there were a bunch of things you were talking about, but the specific thing she asked, which is 67% of the public, regardless of how they vote or whatever, but 67% of the public says in this NBC Wall Street Journal poll that they want to see the president make substantial change in the direction of his leadership. Agree? Disagree?
I guess
67% of registered voters like to see either a great deal of change or quite a bit of change to Mr. Obama's direction. So your point is valid that we don't know what the results are yet. It's a smaller number of states than the entire country in terms of the key Senate battles, for example. But this is just a snapshot. But when 67% of the public is saying we want to see a substantial change to how the president is approaching this, his job, his leadership, how does the White House address that? Will he make substantial changes, regardless if he wins or loses?
And my sense is, and again, I'm not a pollster, so there are probably others who've conducted a more thorough analysis of this data. But my initial reaction is to say that voters are understandably frustrated with Washington, D.C. And they hold the president, the most powerful person in Washington, accountable for that.
What's he going to do about it?
Well, what they should also do is they should also examine the priorities that the president has been fighting for. My guess is, again, there are others who've done more of analysis on this than I have. My guess is that there are some people who say the president should do more to work with Republicans on some of these issues. There are just as many people in that poll who are probably say the president spent too much time working with a bunch of Republicans that aren't interested in middle-class families or policies that benefit middle-class families, and the president needs to fight harder on his own. So I don't think that one particular poll number is indicative of a unified point of view by the electorate. Other than their general frustration with Washington, D.C., the president on a number of occasions has said that he shares that frustration. The president has indicated on a number of occasions that he understands why he is part of the target of that frustration. And it's why you're going to see the president continue to demonstrate a willingness to work with anybody, Democrat or Republican, who's willing to fight for the kinds of priorities that the president has identified.
Again, so this is not, it's a snapshot, it's not what everybody in the country thinks, but let me drill down on one other part.
Okay.
Among Mr. Obama's own party, it says 47% of Democrats said they want substantial change in the way he leads the country. So talk to those Democrats then. Forget about the Republicans. Is the president going to change the way he leads the country?
Well, Ed, again, in light of the elections, I'm confident that at some point you'll have the opportunity to hear from the president when he'll discuss the outcome here. So I don't want to get into sort of the post-election analysis before the election's been held.
And I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for the president's approach. There's been a whole series of stories in the last few days, administration officials speculating to bring in new people. Is he going to have a different agenda? I get you can't give us all the details now. You're still weighing that.
Yeah.
But I'm not hearing you say the president is prepared to change it all.
Well, again, I haven't looked at the poll, but my guess is those who have done the analytics here aren't going to suggest that the way that the president can sort of change his leadership is by, hiring and firing a couple of staff members at the White House. Okay. I think what the people in that poll are saying is consistent with our broader understanding about where the electorate is right now. Are saying they want to see more from Washington, D.C. In the way of policies that will benefit middle-class families. That's something that the president has been fighting for quite some time. We have not gotten much, if any, cooperation from Republicans in Congress on this. So we'll have to see what the outcome of the election is. Just as importantly, we'll have to see what lessons individual members of Congress derive from the outcome of those elections. And we'll see if it causes some Republicans to look for more opportunities to work with the president to advance the kind of middle-class agenda that traditionally hasn't gotten bogged down in partisan wrangling. So, again, that would be an optimistic, hopeful outcome, but we'll see what the outcome is.
Two other quick things.